I've returned to the countryside, a dozen miles from my childhood home in Kent. I've wonderful memories of an old Oast House, a converted barn that was used to dry hops for beer making. So I've made one into a hidden restaurant for 18 diners. Welcome to the Oast House, my hidden kitchen. I was born no more than 20 miles away from here, so I had to come back to this region to open up my hidden restaurant. This is it. I've got it all. My little kitchen might be small, but it's functional and it works great. That's the restaurant, just across there. This is my culinary retreat where for one summer, I can try things out free from the constraints of my London restaurant. And tonight's menu was inspired by my search for hidden restaurants in the northeast. My first visit took me to Alnwick in Northumberland, to a truly unique restaurant with a growing reputation for fine dining nights. But it's not located in the famous Alnwick Castle or in pride of place at the glorious Alnwick Garden. Instead, it's tucked away inside one of the largest tree houses in the world. Oh, wow. It's extraordinary. It's like a fairy tale. And this beautiful green canopy. It is a huge space. And it seems to go on forever. But how on earth do you run a restaurant in a treehouse? You must be Gary.
Good morning. Nice to meet you.
Chef Gary Pickles is the man who has that job.
Initial reaction is a wow. Do you get that?
Absolutely. No, every single person, you know, the venue itself is phenomenal, you know.
Hey.
This stunning location is linked by a series of rope bridges.
Oh, I can't help myself. I'm like a child. I hope you don't have to carry the plates down here. Great fun. Whoa.
So, Michelle, welcome to the Treehouse restaurant.
The lunch menu is classic Northumberland fare, and for dinner, three-course fine dining is £35. It's unreal. Wood everywhere. I'm surprised we've got a fire in here, though.
Absolutely, but we're very safe. We make sure that, you know, we're not going to burn down.
You seat what, 60 odd?
On a night time, the max covers we can do is 80. Lunchtime, we'll do up to 130 on a lunch. And, you know, we want the food to be just as much as a part of, because we don't want the venue to be the show. We want all of it to be the show, whether it's service, food, the drinks, cocktails, you know, it's all a big part of it.
Good. Talking of food, where's the kitchen?
Right through this way. Shall we go and have a look?
The restaurant may be in one of the largest tree houses in the world, but the kitchen is surprisingly small.
Do you have any real issues here?
The kitchen's not big enough for the amount of covers that we need to be doing. That's why we made a prep kitchen downstairs. But then we've obviously got the challenge of getting back and forth, so getting the produce back and forth, keeping it, you know, fresh.
Have you got a pulley or a lift?
In an ideal world, we would, you know, but come rain or shine, we're up and down them, so...
Even if it's, piddling down with rain, you've got to go out there and collect the boxes.
Thank goodness for cling foam.
Tell me, if there was one particular dish that epitomises your ethos and the ethos of the Treehouse, what would it be?
One of them would be dessert we've got on carrot cake. We have his own garden on site, so we get the baby carrots out of there. So that's a nice one. It's taking a humble carrot cake, but obviously trying to make it that bit nicer, you know, a bit special. So, Chef, shall I plate you up one of the carrot cakes?
Yes,
so you can
please.
See it? Perfect. So we'll grab a plate. So what we start with first is purple carrot puree. We cook it down with stock syrup, star anise, and sugar.
Purple carrots, that's beautiful. Great idea. Do you get the gardeners to grow to order?
Yes, so since I've been here, we started to work with the gardeners to really get them to be developing stuff for us.
Brilliant.
We then come with a tiny bit of spiced walnut crumb. The next one obviously is the carrot cake. It's just a classic carrot cake, but just a slight twist on it. We put some desiccated coconut in, but it is carrots that we use from the site. The next one we have is 2 baby carrots, and the finishing touch for it is a cream cheese, orange and honey ice cream, like a traditional topping, but making it into an ice cream.
I'm going in.
Enjoy.
That is great.
Thanks, Chef.
A little bit of coconut, lots and lots of carrot, and the ice cream. Perfect balance. creamy, a bit of acidity, not too sweet, touch of honey in there. That is really a well-balanced dish. That's bang on, chef. Well done.
Thank you, chef. Glad you enjoyed it.
The restaurant's garden provides great English produce for Gary's kitchen. Just the place to find my inspiration for a dessert of my own.
Nice one here.
I've incorporated what I've tasted in the garden with some ingredients I've brought with me to put a new twist on an old favourite. I'm making a no-bake raspberry ripple cheesecake for my Oast House dinner.
Something really, really simple, delicious, and taking inspiration not just from this location, but also the inspiration from the garden.
And I'll let you in on a secret that will give a basic cheesecake mix of whipped cream and cream cheese a big punch of flavour. It's one of my all-time favourite ingredients.
Stem ginger. I love stem ginger. And this is shop bought. It's just so delicious, and it works beautifully with the cheesecake and, of course, the raspberries. I'm going to use some of the syrup. This is cooked in. A couple of tablespoons. There we go, a wee bit there. And I'm going to add to that 4 clumps of this stem ginger. It's sweet, it's spicy, it really is delicious. And it's really sticky, but nice.
The raspberries just need a good mashing with a bit of icing sugar.
If you want to make it into a really grown-up recipe, a little splash of whiskey, now that would work well.
And for a biscuit base, what else but ginger biscuits? And because I'm serving this dessert in my Oast House restaurant, I can do things in a way that's new for me.
I'm going to take the crumb and put them into these lovely little jam jars for presentation. I think they're great. I think that you've got your individual portion just there. The great thing about using these jars is you don't really need to chill them to set the cheesecake, because you can just spoon straight in. If you're making a classic cheesecake, then it really does need to set, because you have to cut it. Now it's just an assembly job for a raspberry ripple cheesecake. You don't need to be too neat. On the contrary, you just spoon it in. And then finally another dollop of cream cheese on top. And then just finish it off with a final spoonful. That is beautiful, that lovely raspberry ripple and that biscuit paste there and the raspberry topping, just perfect.
I've definitely got my dessert. But could inspiration for a main course
That is sweet lobster.
come from a remarkable hidden restaurant tucked away on the northeast coast?
I don't know what view to choose, this one or this one.
I've watched enviously as a new breed of chefs set up in unusual and exciting places, a world away from fine dining restaurants. So for one summer, I've opened an 18-seater restaurant in an Oast House to cook in a whole new way. And my inspiration for tonight's menu came from my travels to the northeast of England. My next port of call was King Edward's Bay in Tynemouth, where there's a big buzz about a shack that's serving up seafood to rival the finest restaurants in the land.
Well, the address says Riley's Fish Shack should be here, and as a restaurateur, this is where I would expect it to be. The footfall is great, there's a tourist attraction, it's a goldmine for a restaurateur. However, it's actually down there.
But what is it about a seafood shack on the shores of the North Sea that's got the locals singing its praises?
mackerel.
I'm really intrigued, and I hope owner and chef Adam Riley can help me out here.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, Adam. Let's find ourselves a little spot over there. Give ourselves a bit of room. Ah, yeah. I don't know what view to choose, this one or this one. So why here? Why this beautiful place?
I've lived in Tynemouth for about 12 years, and there was nowhere to get seafood. My wife and I used to say, we must open somewhere where you can get sand between your toes and, you know, eat some good quality seafood.
And the fish, I take it, is on your doorstep?
Yeah, so most of the fish we get from North Shields Fish Market. We get it the night before, and then obviously we have time to prepare it and things like that.
A 5-minute drive, and Adam can buy fresh seafood for his customers. And that's paying dividends.
It's obviously working because the queue is still up there. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's quite full on.
How many covers do you do here then?
The busiest Saturday, I think we've done up to 500.
500 guests?
Yeah.
That is unreal. That's crazy. I mean, my restaurant does about 70, 80 on a Saturday night, maybe. Well done. I'm starving.
Let's go and cook something.
Adam might be selling street food, but I've noticed a very gourmet ingredient on his menu.
You go to any fish shack on a beach, and it's all fried food. But yeah, I noticed you've got lobster on the menu.
Yeah.
But lobster's not cheap.
We sell in the region of 20, 25 on a busy day.
Wow.
I think it's quite a romantic thing to sit on the beach with eating half a lobster and drinking some Prosecco.
You've sold it to me.
Yeah.
So how do you cook the lobster?
So we can literally go straight over the flame and seal that in, not for too long, otherwise you lose all the moisture. And then we flip it over.
Simple cooking, and the dishes are served with a selection of 3 salads.
This is one of them that I think goes particularly well with lobster.
With loads of lovely fresh fennel,
Fennel,
spring onions,
fat leaf parsley,
caperberries.
Caperberries, which you just squish in so those seeds become part of the dressing.
So you've got acidity in there, got a bit of lime juice, great olive oil, lots of freshness, great zingy flavours that work well with lobster. Come on, chef, is it ready?
A half lobster complete with sides is £16.
Oh, wow, look at that. It's just simple. Street food, beach food. It's in a box. The star is the lobster. Doesn't need any fancying up or prettying up.
Is that all right?
That's better than all right, Adam. That is sweet lobster. Sweet lobster, a little bit of smoke from the fire, tender. Yeah, I understand now why they're queuing, I tell you. For sure, I'd queue up.
I've fallen hook, line and sinker for the idea of gourmet street food, and I want to give it a go. I love the idea of cooking fresh seafood on the sand.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
And this is the perfect vehicle to test drive my skills. It's the origin of Adam's business, a portable barbecue he used to pitch up on the beach.
I'm looking forward to trying my barbecuing on this.
No brakes, hang on! No brakes!
What?
No brakes!
Oh, no. Now you tell me. No brakes. Oh. Really no brakes on this? You're a bunch of kamikazes.
You're all right, chef.
Unfussy street food doesn't have to lack taste and quality.
Mackerel?
I'll have a mackerel, thank you.
I'm not being too generous, am I?
Absolutely not.
This is the purest form of cooking. Fresh ingredients and a flame. And to think a year ago, this is how Adam's business looked. He's certainly found the recipe for success.
Smashing, look at that, looks beautiful. The thing with street food is that every bite has got to count. It's got to be full of flavour. Unlike restaurant food where you've got a big plate and you can have different combinations in each mouthful, this is all about bite after punchy bite.
Come on, my fish is overcooking, chef.
Oh, I'm under pressure now. Hurry up, chef, come on. Oh, that looks good. There you go. Salmon? This is your baby.
Yeah,
It's your life.
I love it when all the staff leave and I just sit there and have a drink and wind down after a busy service, and yeah, really enjoy it.
You certainly have cracked it here, mate, I tell you.
Thank you. It's been a journey and a battle.
This has been an inspirational visit. It's opened up my eyes to a new wave of street food. Quality ingredients combined to deliver a punch with each bite. Simply cooked, the food here is as good as it looks.
And the one thing I'll take away from here to my hidden restaurant is that street food ethos. Every single mouthful has got to count.
I want to adopt the same philosophy for my diners tonight by serving up a gourmet fish burger, street food style. I'm using a combination of fish to really deliver on flavour.
Now I've got some white fish and some mackerel, a good combination. The mackerel has got lots of fat in it, lots of oil, and the white fish, and I'm using plaice here, gives me the texture.
And keeping that consistency intact is the secret to a really great fish burger.
I'm going to chop it all up really, really fine. I prefer to chop the fish by hand and not use a food processor. I think the texture is far better. In goes the fish. All lovely and chopped by hand.
I'm going to use Adam's approach to cooking my burger, so I'm just keeping it simple by enhancing it with parsley.
Roughly chopped, not too fine, and in that goes.
Lemon zest.
And if I were to use the juice, it would make this really sloppy.
And a binding of breadcrumbs.
Roll up the sleeves. You've got to really squish all this together. Now you could put an egg in here, but I always find if you put an egg in a burger, it makes it too bouncy and the texture just isn't right. Because what I want is almost like crumbling when you bite into it. Right, now I just need to make this into the patties. It's got to be quite tight, quite firm, so otherwise it will disintegrate.
For me, if you're going to make your own burger, then you absolutely have to make your own sauce too. This is what should make my burger special. Flat parsley, chives, and the aniseed hint of dill will complement the fish perfectly. Blend with some mayonnaise and capers.
All right, let's have a little taste. One thing that's missing, a bit of green chili sauce. I think a burger should have a bite to it. Get that in the pan. Quite hot, so I want to get a bit of colour on there. Now the fish is beautifully cooked, lovely and crisp and golden. Let's build this burger. A few onion rings. Spoonful of sauce here. And this wonderful fish patty, look at that, so generous. And I think that's the secret as well to this kind of food, generosity, and a big spoonful of this herby mayonnaise on top.
And it really captures the essence of Riley's Seafood Shack. Great ingredients, simply cooked, but full of taste.
Give me a fish burger any day. Look at that. This could definitely be on Riley's menu, but it's not. It's on my menu.
I couldn't serve this as a main at my London restaurant. And that's what makes my Oast House so liberating. It's where I can experiment with my menu and do things I'd never dream of normally. And the amazing thing about hidden restaurants across the country is their freedom to experiment, to throw the rule book in the bin. And one man who knows all about that is Chef Freddie Bird.
Mace to go here, please, Matteo. Yeah. 318, 2 duck, please.
A pioneer who turned a rundown Lido in the heart of Bristol into one of the city's finest dining locations.
To get people through the door was our first challenge, and I think then, your offering has got to be absolutely spot on to encourage people to come back over and over again.
Freddie's successful conversion is pulling in the punters. So he's well qualified to meet someone in Yorkshire with big designs on turning a very small and unusual space into an Alpine street food experience.
Hello, I'm Freddie.
I'm James, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Welcome.
What's the story?
Well, what you've come to see is actually around the back. So if you want to follow me.
Okay. A couple of gondolas.
Here it is, yes, a couple of gondolas.
I like it. I'm not entirely sure. What's the plan?
So basically the gondola is going to be our kitchen, being used to serve raclette.
A restaurant. A raclette restaurant.
Yeah.
In a gondola.
Alpine themed in a gondola, yeah.
I love a raclette, a Swiss dish of cheese melted over a selection of potatoes, meats and pickles.
Don't get me wrong, I think it's a great idea, but why a gondola? I mean, you've not made life easy for yourself, have you?
No. Someone once said to me they had gondola graveyards. And that term really stuck with me. Imagine a field full of these, no one wanted them, and so to bring one back to life, that's what we're trying to do.
Are you eating in the gondola?
No.
So
no,
just serving. So the gondola.
It's the kitchen, yeah. The working
kitchen.
kitchen.
The kitchen. Go on then. Let's have a look. This is snug. If I saw this in the street, I'd be up to it like a shot. All that cheese, cured meats, pickles.
Exactly that.
It's so good. But this is a challenge.
We know with the competition in the market now, especially, you really do need to nail your ingredients. So we're having locally sourced cheese, and we're going to cure our own meats as well. And so we're really going to try and nail that.
You've got your work cut out to make this look
definitely.
exciting.
Yeah. Well, mainly we're going to have the big sign on top.
Have you got a budget?
In between 5,000 and 10,000.
Well, good luck to you, and I hope this doesn't end up in a gondola graveyard.
I can see this will make a very novel eatery, but will Alpine street food, served from a ski lift, take off? And will I find any inspiration in a hidden kitchen with no outlook?
You haven't got a view, for sure.
No, well, of the scrapyard.
This summer, I'm fulfilling a lifetime ambition to experiment with food in a way I've never been able to. From my very own hidden restaurant, the Oast House. I've been absorbing new influences across the Northeast and using them to create a menu.
Wow, look at that.
And in Newcastle, I heard of a little restaurant with a big reputation. Deep in the industrial heart of the city is a hidden restaurant that flies in the face of the notion of location being everything. So why would you set up here?
This certainly isn't the most inspiring or most beautiful view I've ever seen. And if I'm honest, I would never dream of opening a restaurant here. However, somebody thought it was a great idea. Hi there.
Hello. Hi, nice to meet you.
You are?
Anna.
This is unusual.
Slightly.
You haven't got a view, for sure.
No, well, of the scrapyard.
2 years ago, self-taught chef Anna Hedworth transformed these shipping containers into what's been called one of the 25 coolest restaurants in Britain. It opens for lunch 6 days a week, as well as for special evening dinners too.
This is just like a household kitchen.
Didn't have a lot of money to get things off the ground, but yeah, it's just a domestic oven.
I mean, there's nothing flash about this, is there, really?
My mum and dad had various things collected in the garage, so toaster, kettle, tea chest, which became the bin. But then I think that also adds to the feel of the space.
One of the big bonuses of this location is a local city farm, where Anna sources her ingredients from.
Look at the menu. What have we got here? We've got some smoked mackerel pate, panna cotta with blackcurrant compote, apple chutney, Homemade still lemonade.
I'm getting sick of making it. But it's good.
Yeah, but your customers are not getting sick of drinking it.
Not at all, not at all.
And with such little room for storage, she makes daily trips to the farm to collect her produce.
So kind of led by the constraints of the place. So things that are made fresh each day, don't take up loads of space, but are readily available in the farm along the road.
Let's go. I want to see this. How far is it?
Just a couple of minutes down the river.
Just a mile away from Newcastle city centre is an urban farm that you'd never expect to find in these surroundings. But it's been in existence for the last 40 years.
This is the farm.
Oh, wow. This is lovely. It's like a little oasis.
Oosburn Farm is a 5-minute walk away from the cookhouse. Even in this industrial landscape, Anna has something that any chef would envy. Organically farmed produce, picked daily to create the freshest of menus from scratch.
So what is it we're looking for?
Just whatever looks good, whatever looks ripe and ready. I think the courgettes around here look really good.
Yeah, they look ripe.
Got lovely flowers.
It's a beauty of a cucumber.
Really spiky.
That is a proper, that's got full of flavour, that. Not much food miles involved in this, is there?
No, not at all, about 300 metres. And then these nasturtiums look really good.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they look lovely. Right, so where should we pick?
So maybe some leaves, some flowers, and these little pods.
They're very spicy, aren't they? They're like wasabi. I love the freedom of this place. The fact that you can just walk in, pick and choose what is ripe and ready and put it on your menu. It's just so pure and direct. There's no constraints of a menu. Just wish I could do that.
I'm beginning to see how the relationship between the farm and the restaurant works so well together.
Right, what are we cooking?
Right, I thought it would be nice to do a summer cold vegetable soup, like a take on a British gazpacho, and top that with a nasturtium pesto, if you'd like to do the pesto.
I can't wait to get a taste of Anna's fresh, spontaneous style of cooking before she puts it on the menu for her customers.
Right, so nasturtium leaves, a bit of pine nuts.
Yeah.
Classic pesto.
Yes, but really spicy. The soup's quite fresh and light with yoghurt and herbs and courgettes and cucumbers, and then that's a really spicy nasturtium pesto on the top. It gives a bit of a kick.
Now, how do you want your pesto? Do you want it like this?
That looks lovely.
Oh, this looks beautiful.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. And I love the fact that we picked this all ourselves.
Yes.
Right. I don't think you can get any fresher than that, could
Not
you?
really, no. Just picked. Good nasturtium pesto.
Thank you. Yeah, a very good soup too. It's the essence of your restaurant here, isn't it? It really is. It's characterful. It's the cookhouse.
Oh,
It says it all here in this bowl of soup.
thank you.
Anna succeeded in setting up a home-style kitchen without any formal training. It's the heart of the hidden restaurant ethos, so far removed from the world I'm used to that I can't help but be impressed.
It was difficult for me to understand at first because it flies in the face of everything that I've been taught as a chef.
Salad and some bread.
But this is all about spontaneity. Going to collect your vegetables and only using the ones that are ready there and then, and immediately putting them on the menu, and coming up with a menu that doesn't necessarily follow strict recipes. But you know what? It works. The proof is there, even with that view.
I love the way Anna let the fresh vegetables do the talking. No fancy prep, just a really simple dish that made the most of what she has on her doorstep. And that's what I'm going to do for my starter of roasted carrot hummus and dukkha with veggies.
So the first thing you need to do is roast the carrots off. To that, I'm going to add some chickpeas, just regular chickpeas. Right, now we need some tahini. Lovely tahini. I'll just pour that in. That's going to give us lots of richness Bags of flavour.
The flavour palette continues with coriander, mint, seasoning and garlic.
Smashing it first is supposed to make it easier to peel. Not this one. Got it.
Cumin and chilli flakes for intense flavour.
Definitely needs lemon. Zest and juice. I want to add some texture to this dish, so I'm going to be making a dukkha, which is like an Egyptian kind of crunchy spice mix made with nuts and seeds. So I need to toast these off in a dry pan to give them some flavour.
Almonds, pistachios and sesame seeds to create a nutty texture. And for spice, a little more cumin and coriander.
I love coriander as much as my dad hates it. If I want to wind him up, serve him coriander. In fact, maybe I should invite him to come and taste this. And once they're lightly toasted, I'm going to use the pestle and mortar and grind them down to a kind of gravelly, sandy texture, but not too fine. Wow, that smells good. I've never combined the two, hummus and dukkha, together, but I think this is going to work a dream.
And as a tribute to Anna's give it a go attitude and the city farm she visits daily, I want to serve my starter in a radically new way.
Oh, flower pot time. Out with the plates, in with a flower pot. I dread to think what my dad would think of this.
And that's exactly the freedom that my Oast House restaurant gives me. Dad doesn't need to know.
It's the first time I've ever served food in a flower pot. This is so far removed from what I normally do. Now the dukkha on top. See where I'm coming from? It's a little garden.
Just like Anna in the cookhouse, I'm using locally sourced produce too, like these Kentish sugar snap peas.
A little bit of celery. There it is, a little flower pot of crudités with the humus underneath. And there we go. That is so good. Vegetarian dish with so much flavour. A definite crowd pleaser.
And tonight, an 18-strong crowd will be starting their feast with this playful new dish. I'm hoping they dig my garden in a pot. Earlier this summer, I heard about a restaurant hidden in the rugged landscape of Doon, on the tip of the Knoydart Peninsula on the west coast of Scotland. Setting up my own hidden restaurant, I want to find out the secret ingredient that makes people head off the beaten track to book in for dinner. So I asked Freddie to check out what must be one of the hardest kitchens to get to in the whole country. The final part of his epic 11-hour journey was a 4-mile boat ride.
Doon is part of the mainland. An intrepid explorer could probably get to Doon by land, but there are no roads. I think the only way in and out of Doon seems to be by boat.
Here in the wilds of Scotland, this award-winning restaurant has been getting excellent reviews from hardy travellers arriving in the spring and summer months. So how have the owners made this work?
Hi there.
Hello, you must be Freddie.
I am. You must be Liz.
I am, yes. Hi.
Lovely to meet you.
Nice to see you.
What an absolutely stunning location. This is incredible. How did all this come about?
This was just an old house that was just a heap of big stones. And so these buildings were built out of that stone.
You physically built this with your own hands?
We did indeed, yeah.
What a feat. And then you've had to physically carry everything up and down.
The first thing actually was to build this little track.
So you build your own
We
track,
built the track.
so you can get the materials to rebuild your restaurant in the middle of nowhere. And I don't see much passing trade. I mean, what possesses you to start a restaurant where there are no customers? I mean, how do you get them in?
We have visitor moorings in the bay, so we have yachts come in and stay for the night and come in for dinner, and then anyone staying on Knoydart can come down, but they have to get themselves over here and come down the hill. They have to have decent footwear.
Well, what a spot. But I'd love to get inside and
Yeah,
take a look
come on
and see what you've built.
Yeah, indeed.
Liz and her family provide classic country cooking and lodgings for intrepid visitors to the peninsula.
Wow, what a fabulous room. This is incredible. It's like that Nordic, that real Nordic feel. It's beautiful, really great. How many does that mean you can get seated in here?
Regularly into the mid-20s, that's a good busy night for us.
The restaurant is not only part of the land, but the menu lives by it too. As well as growing their own produce, they catch their own seafood, and their star ingredient is the local venison. Liz has prepared a hearty roast dinner, and the main attraction is a slow-cooked haunch of Knoydart deer.
Might have to sneak a piece in a minute.
We call that carver's perk.
Well, I'm about to get my first carver's perk now, I think, if I may.
You may.
Pick it up. That's really delicious. Okay, folks, got you some of Liz's lovely venison. I don't know where the best place to put this is. The gentleman here saying here. The venison there, guys. The people are incredible. They've managed to create this restaurant that is providing fantastic food, very simply cooked, but with great ingredients.
The best meals are those where the place and the food feel really connected. And there couldn't be a more extreme example of this in the whole of the UK than here at Knoydart.
Enjoy, all right? Have a good night.
The adventurous visitors to Knoydart are lucky to have Liz's hearty cooking. But what will the diners coming to my Oast House make of a very surprising starter?
Part of the starter, and it's served in a flower pot. Michel Roux's restaurant, not too sure.
Just 8 weeks ago, Freddie met entrepreneur James.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
He wanted to create a new street food stall that would draw in hungry punters.
I like it. What's the plan?
His idea was to convert an old ski lift gondola into an Alpine Raclette stall that would stand out from the crowd.
You've not made life easy for yourself, have you?
No.
Freddie's back to meet James and his chef partner Simon in Leeds, where they're promoting their cable car by providing lunch for a marketing company.
Hey James, how are you?
Freddie, good to see you.
Nice to see you again.
This is Simon.
Simon, nice to meet you.
Well.
Yeah, very good. This is amazing.
Here she is, yeah.
It's a transformation.
Yeah, I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, I love the sign as well. It really stands out.
People know what it is straight away.
You know what you're getting, don't you?
Exactly, yeah.
Melted cheese.
Keeping it simple.
Yeah.
The main challenge was the actual Raclette grills themselves, because they're from Switzerland, they're the real deal, they're from the place where it originates, and it was stuck in East Midlands Customs for a good while. So although we're here, we're set up, ready to go, there were a few struggles along the way.
It's fab, I love it. Do you know what, I think the retro skis really stand out as well. I think maybe because they are a bit of a blast from the past, and I love the menu on the snowboard. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we're just trying to get all those little details, keep it authentic and as genuine as we can, and want to make people smile, want to walk past it, want them to approach us and, curious about, oh, what's this, what are these guys doing? And it's all just part of the enjoyment factor, really.
Well, do you know what I want to do? I want to come in and see how you do it. I want to come and have a taste. That looks and smells incredible. Look at that. That is it right there. That is heaven.
So some pickled onions and cucumbers here, Fred.
It's nice that you make your own pickles. I think that's so important that you make that extra effort.
The salt of the Parma ham, delicious.
Wow, that is so good. Honestly, there is very little in life better than raclette. And those pickles are perfect. It's amazing. So it's noticeable when you use great ingredients. That's it. So simple, but so delicious.
But getting the thumbs up from Freddie is only half their job today. James and Simon want to know what the marketing tastemakers think.
It's good, isn't it?
So good. I could eat this all day. I might even eat the plate afterwards.
If you saw it on the street, do you think you'd give it a go?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? Tuck in. All right.
Top to bottom, nice slow motion.
Oh, look at that. I'm jealous. Get stuck in. You. No worries. There you go. They've just managed to knock out food for 20 people in a matter of minutes. Delicious raclette melted over potatoes and ham with homemade pickles in such a great little gondola. That sign on the top is going to stand out from the crowd. And not only that, the customers have walked away so happy.
Back at the Oast House, my diners are due, and I'm looking forward to putting into practice what I've learnt on my travels. The tables are set, but like Riley's Fish Shack, I've dispensed with the plates. Something of a first for me.
Hey, Michelle.
Freddie, you're late.
I know, sorry. What can I get on with?
We need more veggies in those little flower pots because today I am not using plates. I've thrown them out.
As long as the food's centre stage, then how you eat it doesn't really matter so much, does it?
That is exactly it. The food has to be the star. That's why I'm enjoying this moment. That really, genuinely, I'm really enjoying sticking vegetables in a flower pot and giving it to the customers to eat. It's so unusual. Oh, first guests are here. You carry on, Freddie.
No worries.
Hello, come in.
I'm fully booked tonight. An 18-strong contingent of diners are arriving from the local community. They're here to sample the fruits of my travels from a menu inspired by the exciting hidden kitchens I've visited in the Northeast this summer.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Right. Let's go. Scrubs up.
In honour of my visit to the cookhouse in Newcastle and the fresh veggies that we picked at a nearby city farm, I'm serving up my own vegetable garden.
I wonder what the reaction's going to be. Here we go. So, here's the starter, or part of the starter, and it's served in a flower pot. Dig in, get the hummus.
It's fresh. It's really fresh.
Sounds like they're enjoying themselves.
It looks like it as well. I love it. Everyone just reaching in and grabbing, getting stuck in, aren't they?
I think the initial reaction of seeing the flower pot land on the table, Michel Roux's restaurant, not too sure. But actually, now, I think they're very happy.
That's really nice.
Unique idea to do. Very fun, yummy, something different that you'd never really expect to have at a restaurant at all.
My diners aren't missing the plates, so I'm keeping the theme going for the main course. My version of street food, a nod to Riley's Fish Shack in Tynemouth.
Right, here we go. So,
It's all for me.
it's all for you, yes. Fish burgers.
Fish.
Beautiful local fresh fish burgers. And you haven't got a plate, because in my view, burgers... Yes, you need to get messy. Get stuck in.
Wow.
The silent eating.
I think it's about the sauce.
Really enjoying it.
I think it's about
The sauce is good.
We started with a flower pot, and we're finishing with a preserving jar, with pudding inspired by the Alnwick Treehouse and the gardens they harness for their produce.
And off we go. Dessert's ready.
Nice beautiful cheesecake for you. I'll let you pass them down if that's okay.
Beautiful.
How's it been for the no plates? You've been all right?
Rustic. Really kind of ravenously, rustically.
The food was so great, I don't even care if I didn't have a table.
My trips to the Northeast were inspirational. By adopting a different approach to dining, I've presented a menu in a whole new way in my own hidden restaurant. Next time, my search for hidden restaurants heads to the West Country and a secret Victorian kitchen garden.
And this is your larder. grab a lettuce.
A suburban street in search of a shed.
Oh, my word. Unbelievable.
And a lunch at a revolutionary staff canteen.
It's brilliant.